Get your coffee for GHC Coffee Break. Libby Gore will be joining me to talk about meditation. I'm so excited. Get your coffee and we'll be right back.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
Welcome to GHC Coffee Break. I'm really excited about my guest today, Libby Gore, who is not only a colleague at Georgia Highlands College, but she's my friend. And earlier, a while ago, I was introducing her to someone, and I said, she's my medication. And I said, no, meditation is like my medication, naturally, without the drugs and without all of the, the chemicals that go into our bodies so often. And Libby, really excited. I know you teased me at the beginning and said, oh, I'm going to have a cheat sheet because there's so many benefits of meditation. And I know a lot of times I put meditation and yoga together because I think they do go very well together. So March is Meditation Awareness Month. So not March, I'm sorry, May. Just left March in April.
M.
I know, the other M. That's the thing about Taping Live, it comes out, it comes out.
Yep.
But, Libby, you know how important I feel like the whole body experience is. It's not just about the mental, the physical, the spiritual, everything about who we are and what we are. Is really important in the field of human services, but I think it is in the field of life. That's why we would call it human services, because we're dealing with human beings.
Yep.
And how important that is. So I'm going to kind of let you take off a little bit and talk to us about meditation.
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is when you said that you kind of link yoga and meditation together. First of all, by no means do you have to practice one to practice the other, but the intent of yoga asana, which is the actual movements, the poses that you do in yoga, is to prepare the body to be able to sit in meditation. So there's a natural reason why you would link those two together. And when you say that with human services that you focus on, mind, body, spirit, meditation does the same thing as well. It truly is a holistic practice. It has physiological, psychological, and spiritual benefits. If you're inclined towards spirituality. Which is completely separate from religion.
Right.
So one can practice meditation whether you're religious or not, and it really doesn't matter what religion you're a part of. You can still practice meditation, and many religions incorporate it into their practices. They may not call it meditation. Right. For example, prayer. Prayer is a form of, contemplative thought and feeling that connection with a source, higher power, divine, God, whatever you want to call it. And once again, that is not the end of what meditation is.
Right.
Rather, it's one of the characteristics of a meditation practice. So I guess we'll start with the physiological benefits, the physical benefits that the body can receive. So I have a cheat sheet with me today because there are so many benefits to meditation that, to be able to remember every single one of them, especially the physiological.
Yeah.
I tend to be in pretty good health. I have a regular yoga practice. I eat very well. I take a lot of time and put a lot of attention and effort into keeping my shell, my vehicle,
Yeah.
that houses what truly is me in shape. And so the physiological benefits aren't really apparent to me because I already have low blood pressure. I
Right.
don't really have any health concerns. So that's one of the main reasons I brought my cheat sheet today, to make sure that I hit up some things that might be interesting to the viewers who might have physiological challenges that they would like to use meditation to help with, or help regulate rather. So it lowers your oxygen consumption and your respiratory rate. It increases blood flow and slows the heart rate. So we're talking about blood pressure, basically. Lowering your blood pressure in a natural, free,
Exactly.
free way.
And non-chemical.
Exactly. You're not having to pump things into your body. And I think one of the most important things about meditation, in my opinion, is that it really empowers you as an individual. I truly believe we have the power to heal ourselves, and meditation is one avenue that you can take to begin to take control of your own health and well-being. Decreases muscle tension, so maybe you do work out and or maybe you sit all day and have a lot of tightness and muscle tension. A meditation practice can help ease that type of thing. Can help with chronic diseases like allergies and arthritis.
What about diabetes, lower blood
diabetes, it does help. And all of these physiological benefits that I'm listing have all been scientifically studied. So let's see if it's specifically, now I've heard that, I don't know if it made this particular list or not.
Yeah.
Harmonizes our endocrine system, so releasing of hormones and things like that. So I would assume that would apply as well to the insulin being released by the pancreas to lower the blood sugar levels in the body. You waste less energy. You waste less energy keeping the body going when you have a meditation practice, because your body can operate at a lower level of output, if you will. It can also change the electrical wiring of your brain.
Oh, wow.
They've had studies showing that it can help with knowledge retention and things like that. People that have had strokes and had changes in their brain, and then consequently physiologically as well, have experienced either a decrease in those symptoms, maybe it's with speech or or motor skills, things like that. Once they begin to incorporate a meditation practice, they find those symptoms lessening and sometimes even disappearing with regular practice. People have reported support for fertility, so reversal of infertility. It can build sexual energy and desire. So let's see, cholesterol levels, cardiovascular disease. It slows the aging process, so we can all go for a little bit of that and get rid of the wrinkles there. And then, of course, some of the main ones, and a lot of people come to meditation for these reasons: depression, anxiety, and stress. Those are the three big ones. I'm also a certified aromatherapist, and I blend for people all the time depression, anxiety, and stress, and they usually go hand in hand.
Yeah.
But because the practice of meditation really allows you to begin to see your true self and not your physical shell or your thoughts that are running through your mind. You can begin to detach from the things that feel like they weigh you down, and you can see them as outside of who you truly are. When you come into meditation, you really come to it from the perspective of being a watcher. And that's really all it is. It's you giving yourself the space to watch the thoughts, to watch any physical sensations that come into the body. Many people use meditation for pain management and are able to detach themselves from the actual sensation of the pain and transmute that into something that is not painful for them. So, physiological benefits are numerous, and personally speaking, I just feel much more energized when I am being consistent with my meditation practice. And by the way, very few of us don't fall in and out of a consistent practice. Life happens.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking time. One of I'm not going to say reasons, I'll say excuses, because if I'm honest, I don't have time, or how can I'm so busy during the day, how can I take out X amount of minutes or whatever? And some of the things you mentioned, the cholesterol, the high blood pressure. Actually, my blood pressure is pretty good, but I have cholesterol issues. I have some probably small vessel issues we're trying to figure out. I'm glad the TV can't look down at my feet, and you better not. But see how purple my feet get. So we're trying to figure out.
I like your blue toes.
Oh, yeah.
Toenails.
Toenails, yeah. They're
Not toes,
toenails. The blue toenails is good. The blue feet is not. But
so circulation issues.
Exactly.
Yes, absolutely.
So things like that, diabetes, of course. And, I said, I've got to learn to practice what I preach, because I do talk about it to students all the time, self-care, being healthy, mentally, physically, emotionally, everything. So, and there are a lot of different things. And they'll come up to me and I'll say, well, I don't have time. One of the things that I do is I make an assignment that they have to take 10 minutes. I said, you can find 10 minutes a day.
Yeah.
Bathtub, go out to the lake, whatever you need to do. Just you. For 10 minutes, do what brings you pleasure. Do what you need to do to help you. 10 minutes. And then I'll have them write about it, because it's human services. I can get by with this. I mean, it's part of the program. And then I'll have them write, reflect on what did it mean, how did it help, or what was the benefits, or if it wasn't, I've had a couple of students that my kid wouldn't even let me take a 10-minute bath. I felt more tense because I felt like I felt guilty, all these different reasons. But it puts it into perspective for them to write, what did I feel, why did I feel it, and what could I do differently? So, it's a very great exercise.
It is. And you mentioned time, and I'm also a yoga instructor, so I hear it all the time. I just don't have time to do that. I barely have time to come to class and do a yoga practice. Start with 5 minutes. If you don't have 5 minutes, you need to change some things.
Yeah.
In all seriousness, everyone should have at least 5 minutes to themselves, even if it means setting the alarm clock 5 minutes earlier. And you can build up from there. And if you've never done a meditation practice, you'll sit for 5 minutes and it will feel like 5 hours. It's amazing how our minds, it's referred to as monkey mind. You try to quiet the mind and give the space, and it's like all of a sudden bits and pieces of thoughts from everywhere and years ago, and this song you heard yesterday, it just starts flooding in. And that's the mind's way of releasing stress. And 5 minutes a day is a great place to start. And are we about to go to a break? Because I can tell how to even start just a small meditation practice when we come back.
That's exactly what I want to
good.
do. So get your coffee and we'll be right back.
Hi, may I please have an application? Thank you.
Skip the drama. Get your diploma.
Okay.
Take that first step towards a better future. Find free adult education classes at finishyourdiploma.org.
All right, thank you for joining us for GHC Coffee Break this morning. We left during the break talking about yoga. Yoga. Well, like I said, I put them two together, and I used to be more active and participating in my own yoga poses, what I could do.
And that's preferable for you to say my own yoga poses. A lot, not that that's what this coffee break's about, but a lot of people see the magazines, they see the Instagram photos of these people, wrapping their foot around their head, and they think that if they can't do that, then it's not for them, obviously. And that could not be further from the truth. I call it our creed at my little yoga studio that's in my basement. Our creed is that we do not use our bodies to get into a pose, but rather we use the pose to get into our bodies.
Oh, I like that.
And so, I tell my students, let the pictures of this pose go from your mind. Here's where we're moving towards. Find what works for you and where you can settle in and breathe and observe, just like you would in meditation.
Well, and I think that was the thing I used to do, and we actually used to do it here at the college in the mornings. I used to have a meditation/yoga, and I'm not a yoga instructor. I'm not a meditation instructor. I'm just somebody that really felt that there's so much when we get to the job that's going on, that if we can kind of break real quick before we get back to the duties at hand.
Yes.
Because we have obligations, obviously. But I think that taking a break, getting up and walking, our college has really gotten to this wellness. I don't want to say kick, because I think it's more than a kick. It's actually a philosophy, a wellness philosophy for not only the students, but the faculty and the staff. They're acknowledging the need for that, which is a good thing. But the meditation, I think a lot of people struggle. And I said during the break, I said, well, could we come back and do a 5-minute meditation? And you went, whoa, 5 minutes is going to seem like 5 hours.
Especially on television.
Right.
Watching.
Oh, well, yeah, people watching. But one of the things that if you could, I think first explain what people don't understand, I don't think, what meditation really is.
Okay.
And what is a practice of meditation?
Okay.
And how do you do it?
All right. So, first of all, there is a difference in mindfulness practices and, I guess, true meditation. You can practice being mindful in anything you do.
Right.
Maybe it's just being present with washing the dishes or walking around the lake, just really unplugging from everything and allowing your awareness to come to the breath, the movement of it through the body. And once again, becoming aware of the thoughts that come in and not attaching yourself to them, but rather sitting back and saying, okay, there is a thought. I am not that thought, but rather the watcher or the observer of that thought. That's my true self, the one that's doing the observing of all of this. So mindfulness practices can come into daily life. Any habitual task that you have, you know, brushing your teeth, whatever it is, you can do that in a mindful way. We go through life so often with mindlessly
Yes.
doing tasks. For years, I have had to work at training myself to be mindful when I eat. I'm one of 7 children, and so we scarfed it down, or there was no chance of getting second. So I'm a very fast eater.
I'm a fast eater.
And that is a mindless practice. And so when I sit down to a meal now, I consciously cut my food up, you know, into small, I consciously bite and chew. So that's a mindful practice. Meditation, on the other hand, is the act of coming into stillness. And that stillness of mind, body, and you'll find that when mind and body become still, the spirit expands. So I don't want to say stillness of spirit, because
Yeah.
I really feel like it's an expansion at that point when you can detach from the physical or the mundane, which I would consider the body and the thoughts to be the mundane, the physical aspects. So preferably it's done in the dark.
Okay.
Because when you're in darkness, that's when the pineal gland releases melatonin, which reminds me, another benefit of meditation is that release of melatonin, which helps with insomnia and sleep issues. That's the chemical that puts the body into the state of going to sleep. So.
Okay.
Among other things. So when the eyes are not taking in the light, that's when the pineal gland does get triggered to release its melatonin. So meditation is recommended to be in, but you don't have to be.
Right.
You know, I'm a big believer in do what works for you. And if going and sitting next to a stream and just you know, breathing in the air of the surrounding trees, and maybe hearing the
Water,
birds
yeah.
in the
See,
background,
water
and the
is-
water running.
water's very meditative for me.
Absolutely. And you don't even have to close your eyes. Once again, it's recommended because it's kind of shutting out that outside world for you and
Right.
allowing you to turn within and tune into this, our inside, our inner self, inner awareness. But it is what it is. And if you take 5 or 10 minutes to go sit by that stream that runs behind your house, you're doing yourself a world of good. So how do you begin?
Yeah, because we only
That's-
have 5 minutes, and we're only going to give you about 2 to do this.
Okay. So what I recommend to my students, there are tons of ways. You'll find gurus out there telling you all these things you have to do. One of the most simple techniques that I found is paying attention and counting the breath. So we won't start at 100 because that would be way longer than a little 2-minute deal here. But if you'll just close your eyes and come to a comfortable seat here, nice tall spine, not rigid, but relaxed, but lifted and open, so that you can feel the breath moving and you don't feel closed off by hunching over anywhere. Close your eyes, hands to the lap. That is for body electrical current purposes. And just begin to physically detect the breath. So I usually guide my students to take note of the touch of the breath at the tip of the nostrils. You'll notice a coolness on the inhale and a warmth on the exhale. And as you begin to move into this practice, you'll find that simply paying attention to the breath already begins to calm the mind, calm the body. Most of us spend our life in a fight or flight breath. It's that upper chest breathing that comes when we are stressed. So simply paying attention to the breath, beginning to lengthen it and equal it out, balance it out between the inhale and the exhale, begins to bring a sense of calmness to us. So when I'm instructing my yoga students, we start at 100 and begin counting our breath all the way down to 1. And then we go to 30 and move down to 1. And then once we've hit 1 the second time, it's just silence. The counting is simply to release the mind, the monkey mind, the chatter that always comes. What should I buy at the grocery store? You know, everything that comes in when you start trying to really settle down. So the way it's counted is I am inhaling 10. I'm exhaling 10. I'm inhaling 9. I'm exhaling 9. And you go all the way down. And then you even try to detach yourself from that process. So you've done your counting all the way down, and you will find that that has prepared you to just be and observe at that point.
Okay.
The most important thoughts are going to come into the mind. That, like I said, that's the way the mind releases stress.
Okay.
So let them come. Do not judge them for what they are. They just are. They're not you. They are there. You're observing them. And try not to engage with them. A thought will come through, oh, but this, and you'll find yourself off on this tangent. So the best thing to do is to say, this is the thought, that's what it is, and let it float off. And then it's certain that there's another one that will be right behind it. But you'll find that the more you practice, the fewer of these thoughts that come in. And at some point, the mud settles. And the beautiful lotus flower, this is why the lotus flower is the symbol for meditation, yoga, things like that. The beautiful lotus flower grows up from the mud and blooms at the surface, and everything becomes clear.
See, I think that's awesome. I know our time is about out, so get your coffee, and we'll be back with GHC Coffee Break.
My college offers classes that meet my educational and career goals,
with opportunities outside the classroom,
where the faculty know me by name.
My college can prepare me for my career.
I can earn an associate's degree and transfer credits toward my bachelor's.
My college is a state college within the university system of Georgia.
My college is affordable.
It's close to home.
My college has online opportunities.
It's where excellence begins.
We are
GHC, Georgia Highlands College.
Thank you for joining us on GHC Coffee Break. Libby, I really enjoyed it. I know we have a lot of other, we talked more physically, there's spiritual, there's other different benefits,
yes.
The mind, body, and spirit, or soul, or whatever you want to call it. And I really appreciate that you were able to give us a little taste. And in 3 minutes or 5 minutes a day, if we can just do that, how much, and even in that few seconds that I did it, really felt good. So hopefully you'll get on the meditation bandwagon. Enjoy yourself. Have a great day. See you at GHC Coffee Break.